Welcome to the Farm and Home Show. I'm Kristin Hildabrand, your host, and visiting in the studio with us today is Clara Taylor. She's our area urban horticulture extension agent with the Kentucky State University. How are you, Clara?
Good, how are you?
I'm so glad you're here. You have really beautified the set for us today.
Thank you.
It's very gorgeous, and I know a lot of times people are excited about getting house plants because it seems like these plants last a long time, and I think they enjoy that because it beautifies their home. It kind of clears the air and makes it better for us to breathe. But you know, whenever I think of African violet, I think of more of this African violet. But you've actually got a lot of different characteristics here with the African violet family. Is that right?
Yes, I do. I have several representations of the family today.
Yes. Well, I know when you were bringing them in, you were explaining them to me. So which ones, I think these are all the ones that you've actually grown at your home.
Yes, these are all mine from my personal collection, except this one. This is my friend Charlotte's that I knew that I had to borrow today.
Yeah,
because
right.
It's so beautiful.
Yes, well, and it's very pretty with the variegated leaves that it has too. But, you know, there's a lot of variety with the African violet.
Yes. So here I have the Streptocarpus, or the Cape Primrose. I typically call it a Streptocarpus, but this is also a lipstick plant. And then we have a false African violet and a goldfish plant here. And they all represent very different aspects of the family. You know, like we have your typical fuzzy leaves on these ones, your more tropical glossy leaves on those, but yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, whenever I think of African violets, I do think of more of the fuzzy leaf. But like you said, with the lipstick plant, it's really got more of a glossy type leaf to it.
Yes, it does. Very glossy. I wish it was in bloom today, but it just finished blooming. And they all bloom year round. Your Streptocarpus, it will bloom literally the entire year. It might take a break in January and February, you know, same with your false African violet. Your goldfish plant and your African violet, they will bloom really heavy, you know, all at once, and they might take a break, but then they'll keep going. So it's pretty consistent, you know, like the breaks are very short. Your lipstick plant, however, will bloom 2 or 3 times a year, very, very heavy, and then take longer breaks. That you might have some sporadic blooms, you know, here and there, but your heavy blooms about 3 times a year is what you normally will get with those.
Whenever I think of African violets, I think of the traditional purple or like a light, purple color. But you said with the lipstick plant, it can actually be different blooms. Is that right?
So this one's red. The one that I have here is red. I have a pink one that's more of like this pink at home. And then your Streptocarpus, they come in literally every color ever. I personally own the pink and yellow cap, the purple. I have just a pale yellow, a purple and gold, a white and purple, red and pink. Like they come in all colors. Same with your African violets. Most of the time they are purple, but they've been bred more and more recently, you know, to have like the frilly blooms that are double and different colors. They even come in blue, which I think is very interesting. It's hard to get, you know, blue houseplants.
Well, and I really like you said, the frilly type leaf on that one that's in front of you, because it's very, you know, got a different interest to it. And then too, that frilly leaf really makes it pop, I feel like. And you said with this goldfish bloom, it's really cute looking.
It is adorable. It looks like little tiny goldfish leaping out of water is how they describe it. And they're little and they're orange. It will bloom soon. It's got little flower buds all over it. So in 2 weeks, it'll be gorgeous. But it just didn't want to do any for today.
Oh, yeah. It seems like they have a mind of their own on when they want to bloom. And, you know, as far as the African violet family here, is there anything that you kind of need to look for when you're selecting these houseplants? I know these probably you had a lot smaller and now they've really grown, but are there any things that we need to look for when we're selecting these type of houseplants?
So African violets, I think, are really only for people who have lots of east-facing windows. They like a lot of bright morning sun. They do best with that. And then if you're just looking for a Gesneriad in general, that's the African violet family. I would look for they have the two lobes that are on top and then the 3 that are on the bottom.
3 that are on the bottom. Okay, so that might be some things that we can look for.
Yeah.
And like you said, the east-facing window, sometimes like when you get these home, you need to kind of select for those. So, Clara, thank you so much for being here today and explaining about all the different houseplants that can fall under the African violet family. And if anybody has any questions whatsoever on caring for some of these houseplants, make sure to reach out to your local extension office, and we'd be glad to put that information right in your hands. Make sure you come back here with us for more on the Farm and Home Show, and we hope that you have a great day.